Hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wherever you are. Reyes, what's up? Ever. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back. Alright. So, yeah, let's talk about this for a bit. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. So, like, I'm sure you guys remember, like, when, you know, I already streamed about this previously. That genius solution to piloting or something like that, right? And we were like, I mean, I was like, this was like my idea. I was suggesting something like this. Now, there are other games, you know, that have a similar, you know, solution like this, like Call of Dragons, which I had no idea. I haven't played Call of Dragons before, like a single one. But yeah, like my suggestion was like, this is automatically, you know, turns on your fighting time. But my suggestion was you can turn on your fighting time your manually. That's what I thought. So let's talk about this. Before we do that, we're gonna do a poll, okay? Do you like this rest period? I'm gonna make a poll. Yes or no? All right. Okay, guys, let's debate. Also, I can kind of see like when I, thought about, when we talked about something like this, I also saw a couple of things. Oh, whoa. Especially for leadership, that might be challenging. So let's see, like, regardless of our perspective, right? We gotta think things as like a neutral. We gotta find the solution, right? So let's see. Let's see. All the pilots are crying. Same names. I mean, honestly, guys. Honestly, this is not going to affect pilot economy. Okay, so. Right now, initially, it may seem that pilots are gonna be like, it's pilot economy is gonna be like bad, but I don't think it's gonna affect that much. I don't think it's gonna be affecting that much. We'll see. I mean, I guess one account can be piloted by 2 to 3 players a day, right? If that account is running 24/7. Now you have limited it to 16 hours, so I guess it's kind of like one less player, I guess. Let's see. Maybe less than 10% of the players are War Frenzy for 6 hours per day. Lilith effed up. I would put 8 hours fight and 4 hours rest even. Yeah, I mean, sure that. Nowadays, if you apply to a KD, you're asked if you use pilot as it is expected. True that. Pilots will have job. This mainly affecting the Krakens who pay the pilots increase their KP. But this only disadvantage rally leaders because garrison no need frenzy to garrison. I mean, it says you can still join rallies, right? You still be able to attack barbarians, gather resource, or join rallies. So you can still rally, you can still garrison. Chat crashed out. Yeah, I just watched chat video. Chat was a little bit upset by this. I think it will mitigate pilot effectiveness. Okay, guys. Hold on a second. So, as usual, let's approach this. Give me a second. Let me share my screen. There you go. Let me put the chat here. Let me zoom in a bit. Then let me do this and this for easier. So we're gonna talk about this, okay? Yeah, but whales are rally leads, not joiners. Waiting for Chisco video. Lately, Lilith has been taking all your recent suggestions. Indeed. So, guys, let me show you something, okay? You like this? You like this or not? You like this solution or not? I think, like, you know, this solution was maybe part of it was to blame me, because shortly after we talked about the piloting solution, right? I was really trying my best, you know. I was really trying my best to create an environment that is fair for everyone. Okay, so after we did the live stream, I went ahead and actually suggested this kind of this similar solution into the creators Discord. Okay, this was how many days ago? This is like a month, 1 month and 10 days. Like, this was 13th of September. This is what this is exactly right. If you read this, so this is what my take was on. So in terms of pilots, I wanted to share my ideas and what people are thinking, right? So in order to do a solution for pilots, locking your IP address or locking it with device IP, like hidden device IP or something like that, these technical solutions will not work at all. Any technical solutions won't work. Anything will not work. If there is a technical solution, okay, I know this, okay, so any technical solution will not work. In today's world, in today's, digital, how to say, let me just fix this like this. There you go. No matter if you block it by IP or device IP, it will not work. IP won't work because this is mobile game. People will be traveling. So the IP will change. Okay, so there are people who play while they're traveling. It's a mobile phone, of course. Now, okay, you cannot. Let's do this. This is point 1, right? Now, device won't work. Device restrictions will not work, okay? Because device restrictions will not work, look at Netflix or your Google account. So any technical solution, it's not gonna work. No matter like what other type of solution you find, there is always gonna be people are gonna be finding another solution. You know, technically it's kind of hard. And if you restrict it by IP, again, people are gonna be traveling. If you restrict it by device, this won't work. Like you just, you know, if you restrict it by device, you have to give permission to that device, right? You have to give it permission. Once testing, is my microphone working? Yeah. So if you restrict device, that player will just give access to the device. Or it also could be like something like how to say, virtual device or something like that. Okay, so the technical solution won't work. And also, this is the second point. This is from my own work experience, okay? The more technical restrictions you do, the more regular customers suffers. Okay, the wording might be wrong, okay? The wording might be wrong here, but the idea is that I used to work in a bank, right? I used to work in a bank, and in the banking industry, your like digital account security is quite important. Your account security is quite important. For example, your internet bank, right? Your card and everything. And like, for example, with the card, with your Visa card, people ran into problems. So they were traveling around the world, and then they, you know, punched their card in like other country. Of course, the POS, you know, the card reading machine is gonna be different. So banking system automatically detects that and it blocks the card, and that was causing some customers not being able to use their card in abroad, right? Also, internet bank, like you implement more and more additional passwords, like a lot of stuff. But the idea is that what I noticed is that, okay, for banking industry, the account security, digital security is very important. But the more you put restrictions, the more like the regular customers, like they start to have a little bit problem, because it's kind of like starts to become annoying, right? Yeah, I'm thinking about the technical solution. So the technical solution wasn't working, okay? And my third point was, you are never going to stop piloting. Piloting, you cannot stop piloting. It is never, you're never gonna stop piloting. It is always gonna be there, no matter what. Account sharing is always gonna be there. Like, okay, you know, hey, I'm busy, can you take over my account for a few days? You ask your friends and everything. It's like almost always gonna be there, no matter what. Why it's piloting is such an issue is, it is again the nature of the game. The nature of the game, very high competitiveness. The high competitiveness, it's like direct correlation. High competitiveness is the, like, it's the nature. This is causing the piloting, right? You cannot stop this. One account, if the account runs 24 hours a day, versus account running 16 hours a day. Let me do this. If the account runs 24 hours a day versus account 16 hours a day, obviously the account running 24 hours a day is gonna be much more effective and impactful for winning the KK. So again, the nature of piloting is just in the nature of the game. It's just the high competitiveness. Okay, so my suggestion was, you know, we like cannot stop piloting. If we try to restrict you know, players by like ID or IP or whatever, it's just gonna start affecting the normal players who are just playing normally, right? Now they're just traveling, or maybe like they are at somewhere else, like they are at work, or like just connecting in from different IP. Their IP is gonna get changed and then they get banned. And then the device restriction is not gonna work as well, because in order to give access to that device, that owner needs to just you know, confirm that access of that device. And you just, you know, hey, if you device restrict, people who use pilot, they will just approve the pilots. This is not gonna work. This is just gonna negatively impact the normal players. Like, it's just now. Just normal players just needs to do an extra step, right? Whenever they are logging in from different device, they have to like give access or something like that. So it is in the nature of the game, and technical solution wasn't working. It's hard. So the idea here was, okay, so like, piloting is not an issue. Okay, you can have pilots. It's okay. Like it's up to you. You cannot stop it. But the issue was accounts running 24/7 in gaming. Like, accounts running 24/7 is any competitive like sports, right? Things like that. This is like no human can fight without sleep for 5 days straight, right? No human can do that. And if that account is being piloted, it's going for non-stop, 2-3 weeks non-stop. So that is actually just, you know, affecting the fair gameplay. So this was the idea. Okay, this was my idea. I mean, again, I like, it's not as if like, hey, I suggested this and Lilith is implementing this. Okay, so I just this is my approach and my standing. This is what I suggested before. Okay, it's a similar suggestion, but this is what I think. Now, let's also take into this with like we gotta look at this in calm and how to say. We are trying to resolve a problem, right? So if you are trying to resolve a problem, we need to approach this with very not emotionally, how to say. Let's just take a look into this, like, okay, whether you like it or not, let's just talk about the advantage and disadvantage. Of course, there is going to be some disadvantages and also advantages with this. All right, the rest period, pros and cons. Let's talk about the rest period pros and cons. Okay, pros, then cons. This is gonna be interesting. All right, let me read the chat. Not getting War Frenzy for 8 hours is fine. Rest mode sucks. Will force me to quit after 6 years. I'm not spending hundreds of dollars every KK to get told when I'm allowed to play. Why do you get to say what's healthy for me? Aloys, just chill out, man. Just chill out. You just calm down, you guys. Calm down. Just calm down. Just calm down, you guys. This change, think about this. This change is for majority of the people. Okay, so calm down. Like, of course, like Alois, I understand you. Okay, you spend a ton of money, and then you are now getting restricted to fight. I understand that. Okay, but just calm down. Calm down. Look at this into like a proper way. Like, imagine, guys, imagine if the game had this rest period from the beginning. Are you gonna be saying the same now or no? Come on, man, no average person fights more than 16 hours. I mean, so there is a piloted account, okay, and there is also just a normal hardcore person who plays a lot. But in my opinion, this is of course not gonna be solving the piloting issue, which is always gonna be there, right? Give me a second. Let me do this. Yep. But it is on the let's just think about from the other perspective. It's kind of given a chance for just the normal, you know, casual players to be a little bit up there. Now, because of the piloting, the high-end kingdoms, like lately kingdoms have been like pushing like pilot. Hey, do you run pilots? Like kingdoms encouraging players to like get pilots, and lately it's like mandatory, becoming mandatory, right? Is that isn't that like okay, if Lilith is not doing, you know, if Lilith is not like how to say, if Lilith is not teaching how do you play, isn't it the kingdoms also teaching you how to play? Like, kingdoms are, yo, you gotta have pilot, right? Yo, Irgundir, what is up, man? I want your personal opinion. Do you think current KK performance would have been different if 16-hour limit was active? No. The current KK, even if we had the 16 hours, we would have lost. There was a huge difference between open field presence. During our both peak times, we could not hold our opponents, right? So it wouldn't be possible. During pass openings, I will definitely play 24 hours straight, but I know it's unhealthy and I'd rather not feel inclined to do that. Now everybody's like, we need to calm down, okay? I know some people are upset, but let's look at this objectively, okay? I just want Lilith to add that the reset when the server resets, so everyone can be more flexible. My initial suggestion was like we are manually turning off on and off this like battle mode or something, right? But now it does automatically. So there could be like very sneaky stuff. So what is going to happen is this is cons, okay? Sneaky strategy, or maybe it might be cons or might not be cons, but King KD's sending maybe like 20% of their players to intentionally trigger battle mode. right? So there is kind of like I don't think it's pros and cons, but now there could be some sneaky strategy where Kingdoms are now intentionally gonna throw off some players, on like maybe 20% of the players, to intentionally trigger the battle mode, and then it's basically gonna force the rest period after 16 hours, right? And then after 16 hours, they now start to utilize majority of the forces to push back. Unleash this sneaky strategy. Yeah, this could be a bad thing. What will happen when all kingdoms with 5-6 march require entire camps online when they can afford to have 75% activity? They can free drop forts and secure them easily. That's the thing, but like, it would have given you more chances at strategy. You guys could have played defense for the first 12 hours, majority account, not triggering war frenzy, then after that. Maybe, could be, maybe. I mean, is this con? Is this making the game more interesting? Like strategic wise, the leadership now needs to get more creative. Maybe let's do this. Interesting changes. Okay. Or notable potential change, I said. Potential shift in meta. Let's do this. Potential shift in meta. Whatever people think about this, it's still pioneer test, not definitive change. That is true. That is true. Which is why today we are also collecting some opinions. Okay, whether players like this or not, and then also we are gonna discuss about pros and cons. Okay. I'll be back, guys. Grab myself coffee. The good thing is it's just war frenzy, so sneaky strategy has little effect. It's strategy. It's also help with less city pop and cheeseburgering. Ah, that's true. Hold on a second. No less cheese. Less cheeseburgering. Is it pro or con? I'm just gonna put it on both. No shift in meta. It will just create turtle meta where everyone waits for the other to move, so no activity. That is also a good point. Is that in the con section? Is that in the con section? What do you think? Or is it shift in meta? %95% of the player base is okay with this change. The remaining 5 is Kraken and probably sick people who enjoy playing at 48 hours without a break. Guys, so again, let's not divide. Let's not say, hey, this is you and me. Okay, let's not do that. All right. Let's just have our mind in neutral position. And let us try to improve the game that we all love playing. This is what we are doing. We are trying to improve the game we are all love playing. All right, so neutral mindset. Let's not like hey you Kraken, or hey you pilot, or hey you normal player, right? Let's not divide like this. We are trying to have a great time, okay, with the game that we love playing. Cons is obviously now Lilith makes less money, of course. Lilith makes less money. Is this cons or pros? Pros? Casual. Just, I mean, I'm not gonna say casual. Normal players have more competitive fairness. You guys agreed? Like, just a normal player. "16 hours of War Frenzy is like 19 hours of actual playtime. There's nothing about players exaggerating how much they play with War Frenzy. It's laughable. This may impact 1% of the players." Oh, speaking of that, Drez, you have that is a very good observation. Let's read this. If your character total War Frenzy time reaches 16 hours, total time. What is the... Let me... Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah, 15 minutes of War Frenzy, right? 15 minutes of War Frenzy. So, hold on a second. That is also good. One War Frenzy, War Frenzy equals 15 minutes. 16 hours plus 60 is 960 minutes divided by 15. Basically, you are entering War Frenzy 64 times. I mean, if you keep fighting, this War Frenzy is gonna get reset, but it's 64 times. So in open field battles, sometimes you just stand there without fighting, right? And then your War Frenzy resets. So that is a good observation. Hold on a second. Pros, cons. I think we need to do like observation. Other observations. Okay. 16 hours we have could mean 19 hours of game time. So it doesn't mean you are gonna be fighting for 16 hours. If there is a pause in between, there could be like 19 hours or something like that, right? Just accept that you no longer stay behind while tanking. I would be interested in what percentage of the total income comes from the 1%. Thank God for less cheeseburgering. If it will make battles more enjoyable, will it make more players joining? So at end point, will it making more money? So yeah, the game, in order for the game to be successful, the player base has to be enjoying while they're playing, right? Majority of the player base. It's not about like it's for the long term, right? Long term, if players enjoy what they are playing, it's just more money. Pros, less money spent. Cons, worse fighting quality. Less money spent is from player perspective, right? Not from Lilith making profit perspective. I actually wanna like less spending, that's for sure. But cons is like Lilith making less money. I mean, is this really cons? Because if like overall player base is like just enjoying, the game is gonna last longer, right? Worse fighting quality. Is this gonna be a worse fighting quality though? There might be like weird stuff, right? Because now we are limited with our War Frenzy, there might be like, hey, we should not just do KP chasing. All the fights are gonna be like objective based. Is that pros? All fights are now objective based. No KP chasing. Is this pro or con? What do you guys think? Is this pro or con? You need less speed, you need less troops. The only flaw I see is the reset time being 8 hours. 6 hours or even 4 hours would be good starting point. After that, they can see the stats to their end to see if further adjustment is needed. I was fairly sure most of the Krakens already have decades of speed up regardless, though they are mainly spending for the community. Many quitting anyway, what's the point? Fair game is true owner play his account. That is true. What do you think about Kingdoms choosing if they wanna play with unlimited frenzy or with limited, so pilots can fight each other? That's like, okay. So Kingdoms are gonna choose, right? Do you want unlimited War Frenzy or like a limited War Frenzy? KTs has the option to choose when entering KK. Unlimited or limited. So, okay, there could be something like this, right? There could be a choice. But like, is there enough KKs happening to like this is weird. This is weird. This is kind of weird. I guess kingdoms can be like, hey, this is unlimited kingdom or limited kingdom, and in KKs only unlimited kingdoms will meet each other or something like that. I'm not sure if this is a good thing or not. Will not solve palette just means multiple accounts for wells. That is also a little bit an issue. You gotta be careful, okay? Multiple accounts for one person, right? This, in my opinion, you gotta be careful with this, because more account means bigger kingdom, means tougher match. Right, so if we think about like lower seed kingdoms, you gotta be careful with this. I think it's a con. Chasing KP is fun, but you of course gotta be there for objective fighting. Yeah, I mean, sometimes just having fun and KP chasing is fun, right? Yeah, KP chasing is just fun sometimes. I agree with this. Like, but I mean, 16 hours is plenty of time, right? What do you guys? 16 hours is plenty of time. You play for objective. There is still going to be plenty of opportunity for you for open field fighting. Like KP chasing is like something like you intentionally just do not. We gotta like, hold on a second. KP chasing is something you go for stats, not for objectives. So I think let's just clear this, okay, here. So it's kind of like it's not good for everybody else. Like if a player is like not pushing for objective or something like that. So let's just make this clear. Otherwise, 16 hours of gameplay gives plenty of opportunity to get some KP, right? When is Lilith releasing the bundle to unlock the cap on playtime? That is gonna be troll. That is gonna be stupid. I don't think Lilith is gonna be doing that. That is literally the worst thing that Lilith can do. That is stupid, man. Nobody play 16 hours a day in War Frenzy mode. Come on. What's up, Chef? How you doing, man? Danilo, what is up, my man? I am doing good. How about yourself? When I hear someone that KD obliged you to get online to fight is ridiculous. Have a life and enjoy. Yeah, so the issue is that, like, hold on, guys. You cannot blame kingdoms, okay? You cannot blame kingdoms for, having mandatory pilots. You cannot blame them. Because the nature of the game, is if you win, you get more rewards. and your account is gonna be good. That is the nature of the game, so you cannot blame kingdoms, and also you cannot blame pilots as well. Again, it's just the nature of the game. It is just the nature of the game. Okay, so let's agree on that. But yeah, 16 hours of game time is quite a lot. I think it's enough. Don't you guys think? But also, yeah, like lately, you know, because of this piloting and stuff like this, kingdoms making the piloting mandatory, right? In some very high-end kingdoms. Again, you cannot blame anybody for that. It's just the nature of the game. But it's just weird, man. It's just weird. Like, you go ahead and wanna play in a kingdom, and your account has to be played by other players. This also affects certain time zones more than the rest. If they enforce downtime for all, if you are awake at that downtime, it just sucks you to be your guy, I guess. Well, true that. I mean, is it gonna affect the downtimes? Leadership now needs to manage time zones. So this is a new thing for leadership. Again, leadership now has a little bit more stuff to do, okay? It is what it is. They need to do a little bit more stuff to do. But they were already doing a lot of stuff though. Yo, Kim, what is up, my man? What is up? Frenzy will never work if they keep putting B seeds and KKs with the Imperiums. That's also true. However, is there enough kingdoms for Imperium? Is there enough Imperium kingdoms to fight each other? Like, if there were 20 Imperium kingdoms, okay, golden Imperium kingdoms in today's standard, this the matchmaking, I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Don't you guys agree? But right now, like, now there's only like 3 golden, like 3 or 4, like very handful of big Imperiums left. So it is unavoidable that, you know, just A, B seed kingdoms get matched with a gold Imperium kingdom. If they had option to choose, it will be hilarious since it will force golden Imperiums to fight other golden Imperiums instead of A seed. It's like the game will be more boring and all objective focused. Let's say your kingdom burns enemy fort, then what? I might be wrong with my example here, but I think you understand what I mean. I understand you, man. I understand you. So you burn fort and then, yeah, like, I mean, I don't think that is gonna be too much of an issue in a bigger kingdom, like higher seeds. Let's see. This, okay, so like in a lower seeds, that might be an issue. That might be a certain issue. So let's do this cons, okay? You go for objective after you secure objective. Nah, this is not gonna work, man. So after you secure that objective, you burn that fort. So you say, hey guys, go back to your city, don't save your war frenzy. But if they do, they're just gonna get pushed back, so they have to fight. 16 hours is plenty of time for 99% of the player. It's not enough for the 1% who pilots running their account 24/7. Keep in mind, low seed, most of the open zone fights only last around 18 hours. Yeah, they do. In low seed, it doesn't go like many hours. It ends in only a couple of hours. So this is not really gonna affect too much. Though we might not be seeing the big picture. Any like changes like this could have like a hidden pros or hidden cons that we haven't seen, right? I think this approach is not good. I don't think I ever hit this, but it's not fair. People who like to run a lot of game, pilots need to be addressed differently. The thing is, you just cannot stop other people playing other accounts. It's impossible. You just cannot. If you cannot stop pilots, now like if you cannot pilots, what now, right? That is the question. I heard there will be new update for Champions of Olympia also. Yo, Rimmel, what's up, man? I haven't heard about that. They aren't addressing pilots with this. They are addressing the people who hire pilots to run their accounts instead. This is to give competitive fairness for majority of the players, right? This is to give competitive fairness. Let's think about this. No human being can play 5 days straight without sleep. No human being can do that. No matter how gamer you are, no human being can do that. And you could actually die if you don't sleep for 3 days straight. Okay, there is actually... Yeah. Guys, in Chinese server, they have this already, okay, in Rise of Kingdoms. But in Chinese server, because it's Chinese server, it's just one time zone, so they have like this sleep mode, okay, during the night time. So in Chinese server, maybe past like 12 a.m. After midnight until like 8 a.m. in the morning, you get a huge amount of debuffs that you cannot really do anything. So it basically forces people to sleep. Do you know why they implemented that? That's because people died. People died playing this game without sleep. Yo, Bot Impossible, what's up, man? I didn't die yet. It can be different for people, man. It can be different people, but yeah, there are people died. Or like, you know, it's not just, you know, like so that, I mean, there are those kind of example, right? So no human being can go like many hours straight. I mean, yeah, you can maybe go for 24 hours, maybe even 30 hours, but then you need a tremendous amount of rest. I don't blame, but many complain and quit because some fights are unplayable. Wells account always online is making people quit. My old kingdom is a C-seed for all effects were put in the KK. 2359. 1365, 80, 75. Wow. There's just not enough kingdoms, man. Not enough big kingdoms. Personally, I don't expect hit the 16-hour limit. CC also wouldn't this just make fights last more days? Same hours over more. Oh yeah, Hefty, that is actually true. That is actually true. This is not actually so. This is not limiting the amount of playtime, like observation, right? Let's write that. this is not limiting the amount of war time, but it is extending amount of days that fight lasts. I think this is a good point. Like, for example, if your King's Land lasts 3 days, now it's gonna last 4 to 5 days, I guess. So this is just an observation. Maybe we will see more alliance fort baits from enemy players to make their players spend more war frenzy. So rally and garrison is not really affected by this, so maybe not, but I don't think that is gonna be the case. I'm in D right now. Our zone 5 was 4 days, depends on the matchmaking. Oh yeah, that's true. If it's like very balanced, it could last for a couple of days. The problem, I think, is that people could run their accounts for 24 hours through pallets, and normal people who didn't run pallets can play for 25 hours for a couple of days straight. Now with this update, normal players who run their account themselves will not be able to keep up with the players using pallets. So I don't see the problem here. The ones who find it bad is the pilot user. Don't say you can't stop players from playing other people's games, because you can. Issue is not only they are not even trying, they've made it easier to get pilots. Oh yeah, that's true. That is true. I mean, not easier, but no. I don't think you can stop piloting, like, ever. You cannot. So what Lilith tried to do with the double, secondary passport is to just protect the players, because you just cannot stop piloting. It's impossible. If you start applying some restrictions, there's always gonna be a way around, man. It just doesn't work. We already discussed this, like double passport, right? Yeah. Having just a password, etc. Yeah. So Lilith, the reason why they did this is to just protect the players, because they just cannot stop piloting. That's the end of the day. I think I'm quite far behind on the chat. What the hell? Yeah, in China they were brutal how much they were gaming. Yeah, China, yeah. For anyone who doesn't think this is a step into the right direction, then what is the proposed solution? We know device limitation and IP limit doesn't work. Dying playing rock is, wow, yeah. So it's not just Rise of Kingdoms, okay? So people can go over the board, and in gaming, especially in gaming, they like, if you just search YouTube, okay, search YouTube and people died from gaming, just search it. There are many weird deaths. One example is that if you sit down for like a extended period of time, there could be blood cloth appear on your legs, and then when you stand up, that blood cloth shoots through your heart, and then it blocks your heart, and then you just no longer there. So there are some health risks to this. So the idea is that, I'm not saying like Lilith should try to now address how people should take care of themselves or not, but the thing is that it's all, no human being can play like many days straight, right? I mean, I guess you can push again 24 hours, 30 hours every now and then as a gamer, but you cannot be playing 5 days or 2 weeks straight, which some fights do last. Would just enjoy people freaking out about this for no reason. Let's see. I heard horror stories of babies that died because Candy Crush grinders as their... Oh yeah, there were some parental negligence of people playing the game and then they starved their children to death. So I mean, there are some cases, yeah, of course, right? Indeed. But okay, so the main reason why this is getting applied is that it's not about like all this to prevent the deaths or something like that. It's not about that. It is just unrealistic approach of an account. I've already talked about this. Where is that? Hold on a second. Give me a second. Man, I cannot find my sheet. Give me a second. Let me see. Here? Oh yeah. So we previously talked about this in our previous solution, right? Again, the root of the problem is, the accounts are just running 24/7. If your account runs 24/7, this is given a huge competitive advantage. Unfair, this is like making you hire pilots. That's it. The piloting itself is not an issue, okay? The pilot is not an issue. I don't think piloting is an issue, okay? The main issue is just the account is running 24/7. And especially in KVK matchmaking, right? In KVK matchmaking, like 100 accounts versus 100 accounts in a KVK, for example. And if the 100 accounts is running 24/7, then that 24/7 account Kingdom is gonna win for sure, because it's just competitive nature. It's just because of the competitive nature. It's not about to prevent deaths or something like that. It's not this change is not about this. So it's just trying to make things fair for everybody. And then again, piloting is, you cannot stop piloting. You cannot stop piloting, and piloting is not really the big issue. No matter what technical solution is, piloting is never gonna work. You cannot restrict piloting, okay? So here I was talking about the solution, technical solution, ban palettes, IP address, device lock, or something like that. But this is not working. Now game plus solution, this is exactly what we talked about this earlier, right? Battle mode and battle exhaustion. This is in our previous streams. 16 hours of duration you get to fight, and then 8 hours you get some sort of debuff that is discourages for you to play or something like that. Battle mode can be similar to Warframes. This is exactly what we talked about this in the previous live stream. So yeah, there are some deaths. Yeah, it's unhealthy, but this is mainly to just, fair play. Now, again, in terms of game time, I don't think you are getting less game time. Because, okay, you fight for 16 hours, but the overall fight is just gonna last more days. Now this update is normal. Players who run their account themselves. I already read that. Give me a second. Wasn't King MG and all King from BKD case of player till exhaustion? There was a case. I did not know that. It is not impossible. I've played games that do that. All you have to do is restrict it by MAC address, you can spoof some of that, sure, but you will have to remove huge number of pallets. You will remove huge number of pallets, and the level of ability circumstance goes way up. I mean, I guess, like, if you apply, like, technical restrictions, I guess it will discourage some pilots, and, like, it's not gonna 100% stop piloting, but it's gonna heavily discourage, right? But the thing is that now the question, okay, now is the question. Guys, now is the question, okay? So, I wanna ask you a question. Let me write this. If this is not the correct solution, okay, if this is not the correct solution, okay? If this is not the correct solution, let's imagine, hear this out, guys, hear this out. We found a perfect solution to stop piloting. Guys, hear this out. Okay, give me a second. Let me just adjust this. There you go. Ah. Okay. So think about this. Think about this like this. If this is not the correct solution, okay? If this is not the correct solution, let us imagine that we have found that magical solution that completely stopped piloting 100%. Let's imagine we found a perfect solution that stopped piloting. Okay? Now we have found a magical solution that stopped piloting. Do you think the Krakens continue play? You know, so some of you are saying that this is discouraging for high spenders to play the game. This is discouraging high spenders to play the game. Or let's not say Krakens. Do you think some high spenders will continue? No, some will, and lot won't. Yes, exactly. So there is no perfect solution. If you stop piloting, a lot of players who mainly play with pilots are just no longer gonna play. Okay. They should limit only login from other devices. He will still dominate. Now, if there's no pilots at all, hold on a second. If there is no pilots at all, what would be the impact? This is the question. If there is no pilots at all, what would be the impact? So, this is my perspective. No pilot means no. I mean, it's not all okay. I think this solution is middle ground solution for everyone. Don't you guys think? If if you're PC, you can have your account piloted, right? People can be PC sometimes. So 16 hours, you can still get it piloted a day. Isn't this like a middle ground solution for everyone? The only thing that can be stopped is 24/7 account play. People can still hire pilot to play the account when they can't play even in 4P hours. I agree with that. I agree with that. You can still hire a pilot if you're a PC. And I don't think you can stop piloting at all, right? But if you stop piloting like 100%, that is gonna have also a negative impact, don't you guys think? If you are worrying about people not stop spending, don't you guys think? The impact will be the same players crying, exact the ones after them, same outcome as this update. So no pilots, this is same, no pilots means less ultra high spenders, right? Let's be for real, guys. Of course, like no pilots means like there are some players like running their account automatically for others, right? But less game time means also less high spenders. Like because less high spenders, because no need to spend that much. Right? But if you don't do anything, let pilots 24/7 means unfair competitiveness. This is unfair, guys. If you are letting your account piloted for 24/7, it's obviously unfair, right? For other players. No, pilots Krakens will have 2 accounts alternatively. I don't know this, but this actually makes KK more active because kingdoms will have to manage strategically on who will fight in specific time zones. Yeah, for sure, there might be strategic changes. More game time, more competitive for Wells. Yeah, there's like no perfect solution, right? No matter what the solution is, there's always one side it's getting affected. Always one side is getting affected. So this solution right here is kind of like middle ground in my opinion. I believe, despite my personal view, that this move is on the right direction. I care about the game. I just tired to see 24/7 same guy. Will the 8-hour rest time start after the total of 16-hour War Frenzy is reached, or will there be a countdown timer that starts when you're not frenzy? I think it will start when you are not active. So here was the email, right? Let's see. If you do not activate War Frenzy for 8 hours straight, your total War Frenzy time in the last 24 hours will be cleared. So let's say you have fought for like 15 hours. Now let's say you have just fought for like 5 hours, okay? You fight 5 hours and then you stop fighting for 8 hours. That is going to completely reset your 16 hours. So you can now, after 8 hours, you can fight straight 16 hours. It is win-win situation. Yeah, I think this is just the it was a middle ground solution for like everybody, right? Like if we really think about this, like no pilot means of course less high spenders, of course, right? And also no pilot means less competitive KUKs, of course. Let's just think that way, right? If there's like no pilot at all, people are busy sometimes and then they will not be able to participate in certain events in the KUK. So it's gonna be a less competitive KUK. So if we eliminate pilots 100%, that is also bad. Less game time is also making people spend less more as well, but yeah, I think this was the best solution like in this situation. And if you are letting the pilots, you know, if accounts running 24/7, that's also unfair. Everybody was complaining about pilots, right? Everybody. Pilots, like everybody was saying pilots are ruining the game. Kingdom is now making pilots mandatory. You have to have pilots. You have to share your account. Right? So this was also unfair, everybody. So if we really think about this, wasn't this the best solution that is, you know, like for everybody? You can still hire a pilot, you can still play, you can still spend. It's impact of pilots are a little bit less, right? Don't you guys think? If you complain about people have more activity than you, then get more activity, or accept people are more committed than you. Why aren't players more upset than Achilles unlock is behind the bundle? All commanders should be able to obtain for free. The trend that they're doing hiding in something behind bundle is absurd. Yeah. Open field it's fair to do because it doesn't really affect rally garrison players. It's perfect. It's probably good thing just 16 hours War Frenzy buff and then 8 hours debuff. That kind of works similar, but not totally restricting player to play on the field. And it resets whenever a server resets. That is also a nice suggestion, D. But I don't think like server time reset is not a good thing because this is international server. For example, for myself, I'm not really complaining. Okay, I'm not complaining. I'm used to this. But all the Kingsland, all the patch opening fights starts 11 p.m. for me, Asian time zone. 11. It's every time it's midnight. So whenever I'm fighting, I'm like fighting during the night, and then sleeping during the day. So if we restrict it with server time, it's gonna affect some time zones. The problem with this timeout style is if you play 6, you should count your time out and reset, not waiting for until 16 hours. Yeah, I mean, I guess like if you play 6 hours, then you have to have like take a break for 8 hours for the War Frenzy to reset, right? I guess that's the case. It will make battles go for so much longer because you will not have Kingsland die in one day because of 24/7 accounts that are made of bricks. Oh yeah, that is also true. I honestly don't think that this is gonna affect total battle time. You are still gonna be fighting. You are still gonna be fighting. Okay. Here's the where's that? Oh yeah, here. This is not limiting players' total game time. The fight's just gonna last more days. If the account is piloted 24/7, that is actually ending the fights faster, right? Because your opponents are like now goes into downtime and you get pushed. So it might be making the fights longer. I think it is gonna make the fights longer, last for more days. So yeah, the fights will last more days or longer. So this is the observation. You're not gonna play less. It's just gonna last more days. Kingsland is not gonna end in one day. It's gonna at least continue for 2 days, right? Something like that. And people also have a free time, and when you have a free time, it sucks to play limited when you want to play. I mean, yeah, that is also the downside, I guess. That is also true. Not unheard of people asking for time off when there's Kingsland and telling family you are busy the next few days. That is true. People does take days off. I guess that is also... Is that a con? People take days off to fight. So it is inefficient usage. Is this a con? Because we are actually like... So okay, you take 3 days off. 3 days off, right? Can you fight for 3 days without sleep? Obviously not, right? You cannot fight for 3 days without sleep. Is this a con? Or is this supposed to be here? This is gonna affect high spenders only. Normal players play like usually. Yeah, most of the players will play usually. those that goes to sleep and pass on their account. They should also decrease how long War Frenzy lasts from 15 to 5 minutes. After that, nobody will be crying about the update. Oh, that is also good observation, my man. War Frenzy should last less, but then again, it is kind of gonna eliminate some of the imprisoned gameplays. It's gonna become boring. Again, if it's 5 minutes, easier to manage, but no longer imprison 0. It's always two-sided, right? Who plays for 16 hours even if it's a free day? Yeah, most people don't play for 16 hours straight, right? Most people. Majority of the percentage of the people. I think piloting is unfair because you fight account while owner sleeping. Yes, indeed. That is exactly. Piloting is not the issue, it's just that account is running 24/7. This of course affect 24/7, but this also have massive effect on the ones that play 24 hours on a single day. That is very easy to do. Does it reset at 00 UTC? No, it doesn't. 16 hours is already high enough for me. I would make 8 hours and the rest 4 hours. By the way, this is the most complaining game ever. I have 24 hours a day because I'm better. Oh man, killed it. Red Bull inside a coffee. That's too much caffeine, man. Most, but some do. Why punish them? No matter what the solution is, just like we mentioned here, there's always gonna be two sides. Okay, there's always gonna be two sides, and this solution was just the middle ground for everyone. If you completely eliminate the pilots, then accounts running pilots 24/7 would say the same. If you leave the pilots, accounts that do not use the pilots are saying it's unfair. Now, if you are limiting the game time, again, just like kill the some players do put up a lot of hours in a single day, and yep, there is complaining. 16 to 8 is too strict. I think if you 24 and 6, you'd get less pushback. Man, you guys are robots. Limit IP address account is the best solution. I don't think that is the best solution, man. I don't think that's gonna work. Okay, so let's say you limit your IP address. So you're now traveling, you cannot play. Let's say you are limit your by device. In that case, you have to give an access to the device, and you'll just give a permission, and that's it. It is no longer limitation. Now it's just, you know, unnecessary extra steps for normal people. Yeah, both sides need to compromise to have a middle ground. I said this is probably it. Yeah, no matter what the solution is, there's always gonna be two-sided, right? It's always gonna be two-sided. How fast the Jupiter rotates, I have no idea. ROK workers will have to have a hell of a day when they open the survey for that update. Yeah, indeed. It's not 2020 anymore. Stop playing rock for 24 straight. Yo, guys! I want to show you something. Beat this record, okay? Beat me. Can you guys beat me? Where's my retrospective book? Where's my year retrospect? Wait, where's my... wait, how can I access? Ah, here. 2025. Let me move the chat. Is there anybody can beat me this? IP address wouldn't have worked at all. People travel, people use VPN. That is true. That is very true. IP address won't work at all. Again, device lock is also not gonna work because you just give access and that's it. Lock account, certain device would work better, but at least this is an attempt to do something. I mean, that's not gonna work, man. Like, you just give access to the other account. Like, hey, I have two accounts. I play on PC, I play on my phone, I play on my iPad, and I also play on my work PC. So you just give access. That's it. It's not really locking. The locking is not gonna work so long as the owner of the account is hiring pilots, right? The locking is not gonna work. Yo, Beck, I got the best part. What is that? Yes, me. Mikhail. Am I reading your name correctly? How many hours? How many hours? 5.2 hours is devious. Yeah, I mean, like this. So my ROK is always open on my PC while I do work, right? It's always open. So, which is why I racked up this insane number. Mine says 364 days. How did you get 3? I don't know, man. It's just my Rise of Kingdoms is just always open in the background, whatever I'm doing. Now I'm just joking. My top was 5,000. Let me do some calculation. 5,200 hours, right? How many days is that? So if we divide that by 24, that is quite literally 217 days. 17 divided by 365. I was online 60% of the time for the duration of the year. That's Okay, let me check out the poll. Rest period, 64% is saying yes, 36% is saying no. Solution for traveling: if two places happen frequently, it will flag. Example, you play in Europe while your friend is open in Western, and both places frequently pop up, should flag it. But just as other people say, you use, just as Jabari says, you use VPN. Is there any way to check my lifetime hours on the game? I do not know. Where's the poll? The poll is in the chat. It's up there. Did you close it? I'm still running the poll. It's 128 votes. Again, I reference my "you can't stop pilots" equals "you can't stop keep someone from stealing your car" point. No, man, it's different. It is different. It's the point is different, man. So, like, you can try to stop someone stealing your car, right? But it is gonna be very hard if someone is willing to give their key to someone to, hey, just, use my car. It's a different comparison. One is someone is stealing or they're like using your stuff without your permission, and one is someone using it with permission, as willing. So it's different comparison. And so long the owner of that account is willing to use pilots, I don't think you can stop it. Right? 2.8 hours for me. And that's still a lot, man. That's still a lot. So, in my opinion, piloting wasn't the issue, okay? The issue was the accounts running 24/7. I would so far as to say that you can just, piloting is, I'm fine with. For me, account piloting is, I'm fine with it. Even though I don't run pilot myself at all, but I'm completely fine with piloting. Everybody has their reasons, right? Can be busy, whatever. Piloting is not an issue. The real issue is, for most of the players, was like this 24/7 is just, this is just insane, man. It's just insane. But now that we are, testing this limiting by game time, it's also affecting some people who play for extended period of time, right? But again, it's it's not gonna the fights are not gonna last less. It's just gonna last longer days. But it might impact some people's schedule, right? I think that's the point. For fun, you should run a poll to see if players think Achilles will be meta Garrison or not. Let's just leave this poll right here. And high-end kingdoms require you to give accounts. That's become a requirement, and that's an issue for me at least. Yeah, also it's like, again, you cannot blame kingdoms for making pilots mandatory, because it is competitive nature, right? It is inevitable. You cannot blame the pilots. It's just the nature of the game. But, you know, playing the game, like eventually what is going to happen is, what happens when, like, in order to play it competitively, most of the kingdoms now require pilots, and you are forced to give your account information and everything, right? Your email address. I mean, it's not going to give the password, but it is forcing players to share their account, which is, I don't think that's a good thing. It was, you know, making pilots mandatory for kingdoms was becoming an issue, right? Regardless you like it or not. So right now, top-end kingdoms, of course they do. But what happens if just smaller kingdoms starts doing the same? Where the non-piloted accounts go? And then when the non-piloted accounts meets piloted kingdom, is that fair? Yeah, 24/7 activity is the problem. This kind of curve probably not solve the entire, but it's probably gonna good addition. Yeah, like in my opinion, I always saw that the pilot end wasn't an issue. I really don't care about whether it's your decision, right? It's your account after all, if you wanna get your account piloted or not. It's just, you know, like now Kingdom starting to like have that requirement of you having to run pilots and everything, right? And then like regular players, right? Not just casual. Even you can be competitive player, okay? You are very highly competitive player, but you just cannot fight 7 days straight, right? Without sleeping. You will lose to a piloted account, even if you are like a very, very competitive player. Like let's say you stay up for 30 hours straight and then you fight for 30 hours when pass opens, and then you sleep for 8 hours. During that time, the piloted account is gonna be pushing you. It is impacting the negative effects of piloting, not trying to eradicate pilots, which seems to me like a good... I also agree. I mean, in our previous streams, right, the solution that we have suggested this, right, if you guys were there, I wasn't really trying to stop the piloting because, I mean, first of all, you cannot really stop piloting. Second of all, it's just the main root of the problem was that account was running 24/7, and it wasn't fair for everybody else. That is just the main root of the problem. Yo, Z Ghost, what is up, my man? What is up? Welcome. They don't require pilots, they require activity. If you can do the activity with no pilots, you are Gucci. That is true, but still, man, it is still. Why not just increase the limit depending on seat? Example, D seat 16 hours straight, A seat 32 hours. Man, 32 hours straight fighting is still too much, man. You gotta rest. There is a competitive nature, but Isn't so? Don't you guys agree? Okay, so where's that? Yeah. Isn't it similar for you to fight 12? Okay, hold on. 24 hours straight or 12 hours for 2 days. This is the so this is not actually decreasing the wartime. This is not decreasing the wartime. The zones are not gonna decrease the wartime. Again, as you guys pointed out, it's just gonna, you are still gonna have similar amount of fighting. So let's say zone 5 lasts for like entirety of up until Pass 7, right? Or maybe 5 days. Or maybe like, let's say zone 5 lasted 3 days. So now it's just gonna last 4 days. Your fighting time is still gonna be there. It's just, you gotta have some pause in between. You're still gonna have the same amount of fighting, but you just need to have some pause. Yeah, even if you technically play for 24 hours, you will still have downtime that 24. Yeah, exactly. Even if you push yourself to play extended period of time, you have to sleep, right? You have to sleep. I've done more than 32 hours before. Man, Kilda, you are insane. You are insane. Any solution will make the spenders mad. Yeah, the thing is that if you stop for some reason, right? Again, let's say if we find a magical solution that stopping piloting. If we stop piloting, then it's gonna hurt some players as well. It's gonna hurt some players. Now, this solution is limiting how much you play per day, but again, you are still going to have same amount of fighting because the fight's just gonna last more days. The fight's just gonna last more days. So if you are fighting instead of fighting for 3 days, now the fight is gonna last 4 to 5 days, right? Instead of 3 days of zone 5, it's gonna be 4 or 5 days of zone 5. You're gonna be having some breaks in between. So you're still gonna have the action. You're still gonna have the fighting action. But if we completely stopped piloting, I think that is also not a good thing. Not a good thing. I mean, honestly, like, I think like piloting, like I don't mind piloting at all myself. I'm not saying that piloting is have to be like is a must, but I don't really mind. For me, again, people have many various types of reasons, right? So like piloting is like okay, all right, yeah. The only thing is like the 24/7 thingy. Similar how they opened their own account buying store also against TOS, but their response was to just open their own shop. What is that? What are you guys discussing? Dude, my eyes max out like 18 hours maximum, then they hurt like hell. Why go through pain to play a game? Yeah, we also need to, like, everybody has a different, like, you need to have fun, right? Just this is a game, have fun. In order to have fun, you just play. But certainly if there's unfairness in that is not fun. The dev's telling us to touch some grass. Joking, don't get offended, please. No, man. This is just for like. I think this is just for this 24/7 accounts insanities. Hour pudding, then pass out for 3 to 4 hours, then into another 20 hours before it kind of settled. Then I stayed for 16 hours. Man, kill that. That's like insane, man. Insane. But I'm never doing that again. Yeah, it's like you push your body to the limits and then you sleep for an extended period of time. That's not good for you, man. That is not good for you. Like, we gotta be patient, you guys. Like, just like, again, this is limiting the game time, but it doesn't mean it's gonna limit the total war time. It's just giving you some breaks. They could also set up their own buy and sell account website, but currently available in the US. There's barely any account to sell, or someone just doesn't know how to. Don't have. Yeah, I think that's why in battle instead of war frenzy. Who this hurts the most kingdoms of any size that have huge top and huge bottom and very little middle. Because legit, if you shut my rally down from my current kingdom, the next one down is huge step down. You talk a pass, now you can only double triple rally effectively for a bit of time. I honestly think that this change is not too much negative, you guys. That's my opinion. Initially, we also suggested that as well. Like, this suggestion that we did was similar. I don't think there is gonna be like... I don't think this is too much, man. I don't think this is like that much of a bad thing. But it is kind of like trying to solve the like 24/7 issue. I mean, 16 hours is still a lot, you guys. 16 hours is still no joke. Yeah, 16 hours is still a lot. Like, you fight for 16 hours, you sleep for 8 hours. When are you gonna do the other chores? Right? Eat some food, cook some food. 16 hours is still a lot. It is still a lot. So, like, I mean, I would say 16 hours is enough. I think it is enough, but it is also enough to limit the accounts running 24/7. That is the point, right? 16 hours is enough time for us to fight, but it is also enough time to prevent these 24/7 accounts. Again, the 16 hours of fighting is not going to limit the amount of fight you get. It is just going to prolong, so the fights are gonna last a little bit more days. Isn't that fun? Isn't that fun? Like, instead of your Kingsland ending in like 1 day, 2 days of fighting, isn't that fun? What you guys think? Maybe one day I'll spend 16 hours, but I can't do that for multiple days in a row, you know, it's hectic. But zones, in even in the weirdest of cases, seldom wrap in 16 hours. Yeah, true that. Zone fights is not gonna wrap up in 16 hours. Like, okay, 1 day, but now with this change, it's gonna last 2 days. Yeah, don't you guys need 6 to 8 hours sleep anyways? Yeah. What about people playing 8 to 24 hours, cases like Chatsky? I mean, you just play for 16 hours, you take a break, and then you go again the next day. For me, like, I run my own account, right? And then there are times that I fought for like many hours and then slept for like 3 to 4 hours and then continued fighting. There are times, but I'm fine with this. Like, what is the reason for me to like forcefully push my body to its limits, right? If I know that my account is like, I play for 16 hours and then I have to take for 8 hours and then I can go again for 16 hours, I'm cool with that. I like it, man. It feels bad to be someone like myself who plays without pilots to lose, cause enemy never has downtime, even farms being piloted. Like this is War Frenzy per account, so I think you can still like play on your main account for 16 hours and then you can still fill on your farm accounts, I guess. But honestly, this is what I suggested, and I'm okay with this. I like this, man. I like this. Like, getting no sleep for 3 days just to lose feels bad and leads people quitting cause people violating TOS. Gumbo, that is also very true, man. Very true. Like, you push yourself to the limit, but you cannot compete with accounts running 24/7, run by multiple person, right? So now you're thinking like, okay, so like it's unfair, and then people quit as well. Yeah, better to have longer duration of fights. Now you have more opportunities to spend all your resources and speeds. Yeah, in my opinion, now that we are thinking, you are still going to spend the same amount of resources and speed ups during KFKs. You're still going to spend the same amount of resources and speeds. The only change is, again, fights, instead of running for 3 days, it is gonna last for 4 to 5 days. This is the only change, because now you are forced to take a break, right? That means, of course, it is going to make the zone fights last longer days. But again, you are still going to get the same amount of fight time. You are still going to use the same amount of resources and speeds. It's just gonna be, instead of using those resources and speeds in 3 days, you are gonna be using those in 4 to 5 days. The only players are crying are pilots. There's a tiny problem with the rest period though. It's the possibility that when I fight for 10 hours and sleep for 6 hours, then fight 6 hours, then limit reached, now I have to wait. That's true. Like if you fight 10 hours, you gotta take 8 hours of rest time though. Yeah, that's true. In order to reset. If you fight again before your War Frenzy resets, it's not gonna count, so you gotta watch out, I guess. Also mess up with the rhythm because off-season I'm getting good rest, but then in KK right after I feel extreme exhaustion. And we all know it's a matter of how much you can burn speed ups and resources allotted in time frame reflect your account, so having longer duration fights helps everyone. Why not they just implement it and during reset, your War Frenzy resets? That is gonna be a bit of problematic, man. Because of this international server. Everybody is in a different time zone. If you limit that with time zones, if we put a reset in time zones, like a reset time, that is not gonna affect everyone equally. Yeah, it's a good change. We've been fighting Imperials for 4K now and we're able to push, but we are not heavily piloted, and the deciding factor has been pilots. Indeed. Indeed. This game is reminding me a lot of EVE Online. An unhealthy amount of limit of playing because now people are trying to keep up with pilot. Yeah, like I think this is the correct solution. I think this was the best solution in today's scenario, in my opinion. Like, I don't think it's a good idea to like completely stop piloting. Okay, if we are worrying about spenders stops spending, if we stop pilot, then it's gonna be, you know, spenders are now gonna stop spending even more because they don't have that much time playing their own account, so they usually let others play, right? And also, again, I don't mind piloting at all, even though it's against TOS. I don't really mind. It's you have your car, you let it drive by someone else. It's your decision, right? I don't really care. It's same as that. But if you are in a race and you are driving your car and then someone is hiring drivers to drive their car 24/7 to reach a destination while you are driving your own car, and then you have to rest, isn't that unfair? And yes, that is unfair, and because again, due to the nature of the game, competitive nature of the game, how much your account is contributing per KK, the piloting was getting indirectly promoted even more and more, right? Kingdoms, were encouraging people to use pilots. So where's the fun in that, you guys? Where's the fun in that? So the most reasonable thing to do was, I think this was something similar changed like this. Okay, you are still letting pilots, right? It's your decision, it's your car. You can let your other people drive your car, but you are just ensuring some fair competitiveness. And what are the cons? You're still gonna get the similar fight times, right? You're still gonna be able to use your resources and speed. Again, it's just instead of fighting for 3 days, you just need to fight for 4 or 5 days. And most of the KKs, yeah. Have you ever seen a KK fight last for from the moment Pass 4 opens, from the moment Zone 5 fights, it continues up until the next time the zone opens, and then continues up until zone Pass 7 and Kingsland. No KK has a fighting of like many days of straight. There are many days of free time, free rooms that you can allow extended period of fighting times, right? Maybe the zone 5 can last a couple of days, but Kingsland will not last from the moment it opens up until the end of the KK, which is like 20 days or something. It will not last 20 days. So let's say your KK, like Kingsland, used to last 3 days. Now it's gonna last 4 to 5 days. Which means you're still like, if you spend, for example, 60 hours fighting on your account, it is still going to be 60 hours of fight time. Same RSS and speeds spent. Everything is gonna be same. Your resources and speeds, you're still gonna be spending them. You're still gonna be taking your you're still gonna be fighting for 60 hours. This is example. This is what I think. If you remember, they said they wanted to limit the impact pilots of KK, not get rid of them, even though pilots will be around, saying someone like Hope or Lion can't field for 8 hours, change things. Yeah, this was the only option that works. You can get around the device IDs through hosting service. IP address change on same device and location can be spoofed. Yes, that is true. This change actually helps a certain group of players. Some are better at getting KP in same amount of time. It feels bad losing a kill event to someone just because they had someone else pilot. That's true, man. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I like this change, okay? In my opinion, I like this. This is what I suggested. This is what I suggested, and I like this. Not everybody, like... So, like it or not, guys, if you like it or not, I addressed this issue previously, right? And this is almost exactly the same solution that I proposed on my live streams, and this is something that I wrote on to the content creator Discord for this solution. Like it or not, I am trying to do my best to find the solution to make the game that I love playing more enjoyable. If you like it or not, that is my intention, okay? And I feel like this was the best solution, and they are implementing it. If you look at it any other angle, right, no matter what you do with the piloting, there's always gonna be other side of things are getting like always gonna be people that are not gonna like it. It is what it is. But in my opinion, like stopping piloting wasn't the issue. I did not mind piloting. I don't mind for you to lend your car to drive someone else, right? Someone else driving your car. I don't really mind that. It was just the unfair competitiveness. So honestly, like for me, it's like I like this. Now, with this change, like eventually everybody will adapt this, okay? People will have positive opinion, negative opinion about this change right now, but everybody will eventually adapt to this change. In the long run, if we just take a big vision, if we think about the big picture, everybody will adapt to this. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. I mean, in CSIT, I haven't had a zone fight last more than 2 days, to be honest. Maybe just my own experience. Yeah, I mean, that's the idea. No KVK fight lasts the entirety of the KVK. Right? I'm saying here, no KVK lasts for 50 days of fighting. No KVK lasts this long. Okay? Even with this change, you will have enough time, or even same amount of time to fight. Even if there's a limit, I think you're still gonna be getting similar amount of time fighting. There's still room in the KVKs. Pass 4 open until the last 5 minutes of KVK. Wow! That is insane, man. That is insane. What are the chances during Ruins fight the cooldown somehow triggered? Yeah, there could be like a sneaky stuff, right? A catacomb, let me put that in observation. Let me put some here. Ruins or altar fight war frenzy. I mean, I guess leadership needs to coordinate on this. Because like there might be like altar fights does open during past 7 fights, right? I like the new change, even though I didn't try it, but I totally accept it. Yeah, it's for the better, guys. It's for the better for the everybody. Lilith just added years to our lives with this one. To be completely honest, there are only 3 types of players who I have seen don't like this change in passion. People who use pilot themselves, and people who are playing an extreme. Man, eventually, guys, okay. Let me do this. Okay, so here's a real talk, okay? I have been gamer like my entire life, okay? I've been gaming for crazy hours, okay? Rise of Kingdoms is a game of careful planning. It's long-term game. It's planning, it's execution, it's a long-term game, right? Yes, like even if you put up crazy hours, very competitive player, right? 30 hours, 40 hours straight. You can keep that up in the first year of your ROK career, maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? You can keep that up in maybe in the first few years. But eventually, 5, 6, 7 years, you will see yourself tuning down a bit. Why? Because it's just your body will not handle those crazy hours, you guys. It is just a reality. You cannot, you just cannot like go for many hours, multiple years. Right? So for me, this 16 hours is fine. I mean, honestly, it's still 16 hours is plenty of time, you guys. 16 hours is a lot of time. 8 hours break, 16 hours. It's a lot of time. It's just a matter of fact that we are gonna be seeing in a long-term process or not, right? If we see it in a long-term process, if we enjoy the game for a long time, I think this is a good thing. Don't you guys think? I mean, I like the changes. I use pilots, but I don't use them for more than 5 hours. Yeah, exactly. Like pilots are not the issue. That again, guys, pilots are not the issue. You could be busy. You have many reasons to be. Let me just do this. Okay. Again, no music. Serious talk. You could be busy, right? You have many reasons. Everybody has life. Everybody has different lives. Okay, you could be busy. But in an environment of hundreds, dozens of players of playing, right? And then dozens of players going for a same objective. They're trying to win, right? They're trying to win. If you are busy, then you are just gonna be letting down everybody else if you are not really contributing to the KOK, right? That's not good. So what people do is they hire a pilot for a couple of hours, and then it is more likely a team play, right? I am not really against that. I don't mind you letting your car drive someone else for a couple of hours. I don't really mind that. That's not an issue. The issue is again 24/7. Now, that is going like that is not realistic. Now think about this. Every person here is trying to win, and if we win, we are getting rewards as a team, right? And then like if the other team is running like 24/7, obviously like that is not enjoyable for someone who is not running 24/7. Obvious. You cannot win against an account that is online 24/7 fighting. Obviously. So people are gonna get discouraged, obviously, right? So again, pilots, like for me, I don't mind pilots. You could have many different reasons. You can let your car drive by someone else. I don't really mind. But I think this is the correct direction. Again, you are still gonna be able to fight the same amount of. Oh, you're still gonna be able to find your resources and speed ups. Yeah, totally. I play Dota like 10k hours, and now I play like 2 games, and it's enough for me. Yeah, like we gotta have a long-term vision, right? Like if you burn out yourself of something doing in a short amount of time by pushing your body to its limits, it's not enjoyable. Why not enjoy, like, why not sip your whiskey instead of gobbling it down? It will catch up with you. No one is a Superman. A lot of people who quit games like this speak greatly on their regret of having spent so much time not balancing their real life. Indeed, that is exactly. Balancing things is the best thing that you can do in your life. You should take everything in moderation. You should not push things to a limit, even if it's a good thing. Even if you are like exercising, working out, it's good for your body, but you should not overdo it. Otherwise, your body will start to disintegrate. Right? Everything you have to do it in moderation. If you wanna enjoy it for a long time. That is a life lesson, you guys. That is a life lesson. Long-term vision, just moderation. Too much of anything is bad. Yes, indeed. Anything of too much is always bad. So I think this is, in my opinion, this is a very good direction. Very good. It's ensuring fair play while it's not limiting fighting time. You will be able to fight exactly the same amount of time. You will be able to spend more resources and speeds. I mean, same amount of resources and speeds. You will be able to have fun, but it's just, you know, instead of doing it in a short amount of time, you're just doing it a little bit longer days. You're just taking things a little bit easier. This is good in long term. It's good in long term, you guys. Again, I don't think like stopping piloting 100% was a solution. I don't think like this wasn't the solution, you guys. Piloting like I'm sponsored by Lilith, right? I should not really say this, but piloting should still be, you know, part of the game. Like again, just as I mentioned, if you are busy, like everyone has a thing, right? So it's a team play. You can lend your account for a couple of hours. I don't mind that. But it just becomes problem when this. Now this 24/7 is now you are doing it too much, right? It's pushing to its limits. This is too much. Live fast and die young, some say. Random question. Do you know how much crystal is needed to get mine 10 to 25 instantly when you enter KK? Yes, I do. The number is actually in my... Give me a second. It is actually in my Crystal Tech guides. Let me find my sheet. Here's the number. The link to this is in the in my Discord, by the way. So mine's, it's gonna be costing you total 1.8 million crystal. Research center is 4.2 million crystal for level 25. What amount of time would you say it's unfair? I think the 16 hours, this is a good start, I think. Going below this is not gonna make sense. Like 12 hours or 8 hours are still plenty of time, but I think that is going to extend the days of fighting in KOK too much. So 16 hours is quite a good start. Like, let's imagine, you guys, if you fight, this is just an example, only 6 hours a day of fighting time, okay? Let's say you have only 6 hours of fighting time a day, just similar than this. This means that KOK will not end until the last day. KOK fighting. So what I mean by that is, if you make it too short, the fights will not end. Okay, the fights will not end. So this is not a good. 16 hours is a good start, in my opinion. It's a very good start. Now Lilith needs to collect some data, but 16 hours, I think it's the perfect spot, I think. It's just my imagination. So all in all, like, there are some little pros and cons around this, right? But I think this change is quite the positive change, in my opinion. I like this. You're still gonna have same amount of fighting time. This is still gonna be same, okay? You are not gonna be fighting less. This is still gonna be same. It's a little bit more, it's much more fair for those people who doesn't use pallets. It's much more fair. And the pallets are still there, which I don't mind at all. I think this pallet is fine, even though it's against TOS. If you take this paladin out of the equation, it's gonna become a little bit weird for a game like a Rise of Kingdoms, right? Where your account has to be fighting. 18 hours would have been better. 16 hours of 24 is just not enough. I mean, I guess Lilith needs to collect some data. This has to go for a couple of KKs and see if 16 hours is good or not. It does not scale linearly because many people take days off work to fight, and at least my KD it works. No one can take 2 weeks off per KK. 16 hours probably work for now. Yeah, okay, so that is another issue, right? There could be an issue that, okay, here, I mentioned here, right? Let's say you are, let's say Kingsland is 3 days. Kingsland is expected to be 3 days and you are allowed to take 3 days off. But now, Kingsland is 5 days because of the change. So you are gonna be missing the 2 days. So this is the cons, I guess. Connected with this. If you stay or they take a, like now you need to take 3 days. Instead of 3 days, you have to take 5 days day off, right? That is the one downside to this. Chinese server have more diverse strategy than international server. It seems international server just set aside strategy for just brute force 24/7 account piloting shown with the Grand Prix result. It's time for international servers to step up and think some creative strategy to enjoy a game, not like mindless zombies going around chasing APs. Yeah, I also think that this is going to encourage creative strategies. This is going to just make the game a little bit more rich. Yeah, this is like, yes, at first it's like restricting game time, but I think more and more creative strategies will pop up. And I think that's more interesting. I 100% agree with that. Anyways, guys, I think I am gonna be ending the stream as for now. Thank you guys so much for joining me for today's discussion. All in all, I like this. I don't think it's impacting too much, but again, there are some sneaky stuff right here and there. But we'll have to see. This is exactly, like almost exactly the thing that I suggested. And I think we're getting it. Anyways, let's see who else is streaming so that I can send you guys over. Apple is streaming. Let's rate Apple. Probably Apple is discussing about this as well. So let's go ahead and join him and discuss this. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or in the next video. Have a great day and peace.